After days of failed attempts, at least 35,000 civilians were successfully evacuated from war-torn cities on Wednesday.
Сьогодні нам вдалося організувати роботу 3 гуманітарних коридорів з міста Суми, з міст і містечок Київської області та з Енергодару. Загалом було врятовано близько 35 тисяч людей.
The humanitarian corridors were agreed on by Russia and Ukraine for 5 Ukrainian cities, but on ground only a few worked. Residents were allowed to leave the cities of Sumy, Anahodar and areas around Kiev. Though people from the towns of Bucha, Hostomel and Borodyanka, all in the outskirts of the capital, were not evacuated. Some residents of Irpin who were able to leave recount the experiences of the past 2 weeks.
Забула, коли я їла через цей переляк. Я не можу навіть говорити. Можна?
12 днів під таким обстрілом. Вчора
Через наш двір танки їхали.
У нас зайшли окупанти в хату і хотіли в нас стріляти. Ну якби вийшла не я, а чоловік перший, розстріляли б. Забрали в нас повністю будинок, машину.
Це моя дружина.
Да, забрали документи. Ми просто, нам треба жити, починати з чистого листа. Ну, коротше, пережили страхи Господні. Я такого в житті ще не переживала.
Чи була у вас їжа?
Да, оцей останній тиждень, 7 днів, взагалі не було. Вони в нас на городі поставили 7 танків під хатою і стріляли з наших вікон.
Ukraine has said that it hoped evacuation would continue today as well, especially from the city of Mariupol. Ukraine's foreign minister described the conditions of the city as apocalyptic, as it continues to be shelled by Russian troops despite an agreement to establish a safe passage for civilians. The United Nations has estimated that a total number of refugees who have left Ukraine for Europe stand at over 2 million at this point. At least 35,000 civilians have been successfully evacuated from war-torn cities so far. Now, the humanitarian corridors were agreed on by Russia and Ukraine for 5 of the Ukrainian cities, but only a few actually worked on ground. Residents were allowed to leave from the cities of Sumy and some areas around Kiev, though people from towns of Bucha, Hostomel and Borodyanka, also on the outskirts of Kiev, were not evacuated. Now, some residents of Irpin who were able to leave as well have recounted their experiences of how turbulent it has been to stay in the cities surrounding Kiev. Now, Ukraine has said that it is hoping for evacuation to continue today as well, especially from the city of Mariupol, which has come under intense attack by Russian forces. The city of some 400,000 people continues to be shelled by Russian troops despite an agreement to establish safe passage here. Now, at this point, as per the United Nations, the estimated number of people who have fled from Ukraine currently stands at over 2 million. These people have crossed the borders into neighboring countries, into Europe. So far, even despite the humanitarian corridors, only at least 35,000 civilians have been successfully evacuated, that too from few of the cities. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.